So what news do I bring you from the last 120 something days, or whatever it's been? The most important news is that my mum has come back from the hospital. She's fully recovered, and that has helped bring me out of that depression funk. The downside of that depression funk was that I was spending way too much money on junk food and takeaways, like a god-awful amount of money, like in the hundreds of pounds. Like an American amount of junk food was bought and consumed by me, which wasn't good for my health, my mental health, my waistline, or my running. So the first thing I did was to remove the junk food from my life, stop ordering it, delete the apps, get rid of it, everything, push it away, and then bring in a much more healthy diet. And I have felt so much better for doing so, where I've now reduced it to the point where it's just like a weekly treat, now like a Friday night fish and chips, which is very important. And by doing that, the first thing that was resulted was losing 5 kilograms of weight. That's 5 of these bags of sugar. So I've changed my unit of measurement that I used to weigh myself to kilograms, because this is a far more effective tool mentally to show you just how much weight you're losing and to really inspire you to keep going. Because if you think about it this way, if you lose 1 kilogram of weight per week, that is 1 less bag of sugar that you have to run with the 26.2 miles. Here is the most intriguing part of this vlog. I threw away my old running gear that I was using at the time, so those Under Armour shoes, bye-bye, they had to go, and because they just weren't working for me. No offense to Under Armour at all, or anyone who uses Under Armour, it just was not working for me. And how do I know it was the Under Armour gear? Well, if you're out running with your shoes and you keep getting injured, it's the gear that you're using. Something is going wrong with the stuff that you're using at the time, and the problems first started flaring up when I used Under Armour shoes for the video Can You Walk the London Marathon and Still Get a Medal, and it continued to get worse while using their shoes, so they had to go, and now I've changed back, the problem's gone away. So there we go. That's no offense to Under Armour, just your shoes didn't work for me, and I don't know why, but yeah, so that's the first reason I switched shoes. So if you are having problems like that, it might be your equipment that you're using on your feet. Secondly, I watched Game Changers on Netflix. Now that's a documentary about athletes changing their diets to a vegetarian diet to help them with their performance and recover from injury, and I decided to go flexitarian, which basically means it's a person who eats more veggies than meat, and mainly eats vegetables, but then on the weekend or a Friday night has like fish and chips or a burger if it looks damn tasty. As to what happened, and this is going to sound gross to some of you, so if you're of a sensitive disposition, please skip ahead a few minutes. So basically I was out for a run after making these changes, and I basically put my foot down on the ground, and there was just this weird crunch like sound, and it just felt like everything was being like rearranged and from the inside, and just things were like, it just felt like bits were moving and that probably shouldn't. The pain just shot right up, and then suddenly like it just felt really weird, my whole foot, and then like checked to make sure I could like move it all, and then pain just decreased down to a numb, and then over the coming days it just anticipated. It's still there, but it's not there as much. It's like a little thing now. So, and it's gradually got less and less over time, which is what you would expect. But those are the two things, the change in gear and the change in diet, which led to me recovering from my injury quite strangely within 3 weeks of doing it. So maybe there is something in that Game Changer stuff. And now for the most boring section of this video is I have a box full of all my running gear now. I am fully organised to go out for a run. There's clean clothes, there's water bottles, there's headbands, there's everything I need in here for a run, and yeah, much better. Get organised. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you very much. And now I will be sharing my secret tip about what I've been doing to prepare for the London Marathon. I've been building up my hip, my knees, and my general core area. Why is this important? Well, running is obviously an endurance sport and it's a very impactful sport, and those are the key areas that are going to take the most impact from the running. And by building up the muscles around your hips and your knees, it's going to make the whole job easier and just a lot less effort to carry your weight forward. As for your general core, well, everything's basically connected, and therefore you'll have a more efficient mechanism for putting down those steps. So I've gone from running 1 to 2 miles per training session up to now 4 to 5 miles per training session, and I know what you're thinking, yes, we've got the GoPro back out and all charged up and it's all good on that front. Roll VT. I'm running about a 10-minute pace per mile, so if you add that up, that is 10 times 26.2, which is 262 minutes. Divide that by 60 to get the hours, and you should have 4 hours, 0.3 something recurring. And that means we're basically coming in well under the target of 5 hours. Gives us a bit of wiggle room to have a bit of a break as well. So that should be all good for a target. The first thing I'm going to be doing is reducing my alcohol intake. Now, I don't mean just the overall units of alcohol, but I also mean the type of alcohol consumed, going from beer, which is very carbony and carbohydrates and calorific, to more cocktail based and spirits type thing where you get more bang for your buck and it's less on your body. I mean, no alcohol would be better and the best, really, but I don't think I can do that. So we're going to switch it up and make more healthier kind of cocktails for those kind of parties and barbecues and things. I'm going to keep my Flexitarian diet in place. So I'm mainly eating vegetables during the week and then maybe the odd splurge on the weekend, because I found this diet to be really beneficial not only for my body, my health, my mental health, but just nicer, much more nutritious. You get like a boom from a good healthy meal, and yeah, we're going to be keeping that in place and just keeping up all those minerals and nutrients and everything coming in, which is really good, which is what you really need for long distance running. There are 3 things I need to bear in mind going forth, and the first thing is, just because I went out and ran the virtual London Marathon last year does not mean I'm going to be able to wake up and run the London Marathon this year. I need to maintain a level of health and fitness so that I'm able to do that at the best when it comes to the 4th of October. 2, this time it's for real, or should be for real, all going well with the whole vaccine rollout. So we should be able to have a London Marathon for all people like me, and this has been 10 years of me entering the ballot and now finally doing the actual London Marathon. This is not a time to drop the ball. This has been a decade in the making and the process and doing the actual London Marathon. And 3, like most people, I want to improve upon my personal best of running. I think it was 5.5 hours. I want to get that down to 5 hours. Now, the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we do manage and maintain a good level of health and fitness and just keep that going and just really build upon that and just make sure that we're in prime condition come the 4th of October. Yeah, bring on the next 80 days of hard work, training and discipline. Getting that discipline up is going to be a very key factor for the next 80 days. And I will see you in 30 days for around about the 50 days time training video, and where we're at then. Probably going to be running around about 10 miles a sesh. Good luck, God bless, and goodbye. Cut to me like dropping the camera or some kind of thing for an outro. Bye! But since then, we have kicked it to the curb. So since then I have kicked it to... I need to keep remembering this, that finally... Lovely day for a run by the river.